feels after in a slow night. Never lasting truth I'd like to feel alive. Don't matter, can't party and something straight.
Welcome to the Wrestling Renaissance Rants. In today's episode, we'll be going over the major stuff that happened at Worlds Collide, Money in the Bank, and Night of Champions. Then we'll be going over our hot take of the month, and then our predictions for NXT Great American Bash, Saturday night main event with the matches we know so far, and Evolution. Then we have Superstar Spotlight. Let's get on to the rest of the show. PLE Rundown. So, at NXT Worlds Collide, there's not much to talk about. It was just a bunch of, AAA and normal guys going on, but no major title changes, no major debuts, nothing really happened, so there's not much talk. But Money in the Bank. We have Naomi, who is Miss Money in the Bank. Becky Lynch, who is the new Women's IC Champion. Seth Rollins, who is Mr. Money in the Bank. Then at Night of Champions, we got Cody Rhodes becomes King of the Ring. Solo Sikoa is the new U.S. Champion. Talatanga debuts, who is Hikaru. Sorry if I badly mispronounced it. And then Jade Cargill is Queen of the Ring. Now, hot take of the month. A hot take regarding a Superstar storyline or regular show. I said, if Cody Rhodes gets to face John Cena twice, then Ron Killings should get a rematch and win the title against Cena to give Ron Killings a final run in the company as a champion. That's my hot take. Now, we're on to predictions. Upcoming PLE matches. So we have NXT Great American Bash, and let's just go over what the matches are before we start going over my predictions. We have Obafemi versus Yoshiki Inamura with Josh Briggs for the NXT title. Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe versus Fatal Influence, JC Jane and Fallon Henry with Jasmine Nix. Soruka Champion Zarya versus Izzy Dame with Tatum Paxley. Ethan Page versus Lucky Saints for the men's North American, and Javon Evans versus Jasper Troy. Here are my predictions for Great American Bash. I said for the NXT title, Obafemi is going to retain, mostly because I do not know who Yoshiki Inamura. He's from Pro Wrestling Noah. I do not know him. I can't say their name. So I would hate it if he becomes champion, only because I have no idea how to say his name. It'll be really bad trying to have to pronounce him every time he's a champion. I'm sorry. This is just how I am. I cannot say his name, and it's really hard to go off the tongue. So I could not see him as a champion in WWE. Because most of us don't watch New Japan or a lot of wrestling companies over there, because a lot of names over there is really hard to say. And it really makes me hard to say it. Plus, I don't think Obafemi would lose to someone who just came in from Pro Wrestling Noah. Then we have Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe versus Fatal Influence. I said Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe because I don't see Blake Monroe losing in their first PLE match from after being a women's AEW champion and then coming over here just from the lose, especially with Jordan Grace. I don't think they're going to have Jordan Grace lose. Unless they're doing like what happened at WrestleMania. Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe loses, and then the Evolution, Jordan Grace wins. Because if we go over to Evolution, it's JC Jane with Found Hungry and Jasmine Nix versus Jordan Grace. This could actually be a WrestleMania 40 situation here. So I might actually change my answer to Fatal Influence. I think Fatal Influence is actually going to win. And this is going to lead to Jordan Grace winning the Women's NXT title, which she deserves. Then we have Soruka with Zarya versus Izzy Dame. I think Izzy Dame is going to win. I think Izzy Dame is going to become the new Women's North American Champion. And then we have Ethan Page versus Lucky Saints. And I think Lucky Saints is going to win. And, okay, here's why. So, and I'm going to explain why Izzy Dame's situation as well. Actually, I'm going to do them all together. I think they're both going to win. Both challengers are going to win for the North American titles. Because Ethan Page, I think, is finally going to... Because he's been on starting to get on SmackDown more. I definitely could see Ethan Page finally being moved up to the main roster. Especially with... he fits. And could do a lot of good feuds, do a lot of current stars in the main roster. He fits the main roster, and I think he's ready. And Ricky Saints getting the title back is a good idea. And Izzy Dame, the reason I'm saying this is because at Evolution, again, we have the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, who is our champion, versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Soruka and Zarya, and the Kabuki Warriors. And I think Soruka and Zarya are going to become NXT, or are going to become the women's tag team champions. NXT are finally going to get the titles back. Because it's been so long since NXT has had the women's tag team titles. So having them get it back is good. But because it's going to be Soruka and Zarya, I don't think Soruka is going to be a double champion. I don't think they're going to be a North American and tag team champion. So I think they're going to lose the North American title, so then they win the tag team. I think that's what they're going to do, and it makes sense to have them, especially because Soruka could be a really good tag team champion as well. And then we have J. Evan Evans versus Jasper Troy. I have no idea who Jasper Troy is. I've searched him up. He's a guest from LFG. He won the inaugural season. I never really watched Evolve, so I don't know much about it. So I said J. Evan Evans is going to win, especially if they want to put J. Evan Evans to push him for either the North American or NXT title. Because J. Evan Evans is definitely going to become champion some point this year, I think. So, and I predict that. So I think having J. Evan Evans wins at this PLE can really push him to be able to go for another title match. Now, we're going to move on to the Saturday night main event. We have Gunther, who's the champion, versus Goldberg. This is Goldberg's title match. Gunther's going to retain, because I think there's going to be a better SummerSlam match. So, it would make sense to make Gunther actually lose, or not Gunther, Goldberg lose in his final match, especially because it's a championship. And Gunther should be champion going into SummerSlam, like last year, and having a good match. Especially with, Seth Rollins all around there. Actually, Seth Rollins can't do it. Or he could, because then it's LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. I see LA Knight's going to win. Because people want LA Knight, be a big favorite for winning one of the titles again. Or trying to go for a world title. And I could definitely see it. So I definitely want Sami Zayn to get it before he retires. Or he has the same thing as KO, where he gets to injury where he can't be a champion anymore. Even though Kevin Owens already been a Universal and WWE champion. Sami Zayn hasn't yet, so I still want Sami Zayn. But I still think LA Knight's going to beat Seth Rollins, especially with, I think, Sami Zayn returning. Even though he only got taken out this week. They're going to do some quick thing of Sami Zayn always comes back. Or they're going to have Seth Rollins wins, LA Knight will go against Seth Rollins again at SummerSlam for a bigger match or something. And then Sami Zayn returns. And probably stops Seth from cashing in. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre is going to win. Because Drew McIntyre has been putting it in. He's been doing really good. He had one of the best years last year. And having him beat Randy Orton could be really good for pushing him. Especially for putting him to win more titles. I definitely think he should win a mid-card title for now. Until he becomes world champion again. And can actually have a nice run in front of a crowd. Though he's already a multi-time world champion. So having him do the mid-cards right now will be good, especially because then he can have some great matches with those that are in the mid-card. Now we're going to move on to Evolution. We're getting close to the end. Don't worry, guys. So, as we were talking about before, JC Jane, champion for the NXT Women's Championship versus Jordynne Grace. And I said I think Jordynne Grace is going to win. I think this is finally Jordynne Grace's moment to win. So that's what I think it is, and that's what I'm going with. Then we have Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. I think Io Sky is gonna retain. Because I don't want to see Rhea Ripley as a champion again. Rhea Ripley has been the world champion back and forth, and multiple time champion. Io Sky should retain until SummerSlam at least. I think she should actually pass SummerSlam. Because she won it at SummerSlam the first time. And then won it on a Raw. But she won it at SummerSlam the first time. I think she should retain it just past SummerSlam. Maybe losing it at Crash in Paris or wherever. Crash in Paris. But that's where I think it should be. Then we have the Judgment Day. I already said this, and I said Soruka and Zarya are gonna win the women's tag titles and bring it back to NXT. And you guys already heard what I talked about, so I'm not gonna reiterate. Then, this is what we have no idea who's in this match. No idea. This is a Battle Royal for a World Championship match at Crash in Paris. I said Ron Killings. I think this is the perfect way for Ron Killings to get his rematch. Because if Cody Rhodes could get, I talked about it before, if Cody Rhodes could get another title shot against Cena, then Ron Killens should win this Battle Royal and get the match at Crash in Paris and be the one to dethrone him, not Cody. Because if they have Cody lose and then say Cody should be the one to dethrone him anyway, that means Cody has to face him 3 times. 3 times. No one else gets to have multiple times, but Cody gets it 3 times? No, Ron Killens should be the one to dethrone Cena. Because his childhood hero, who then betrayed him, and now he sees the truth, and you let the truth out, and he's going to be the one to take down Cena after all these years. It fits perfectly for him. It's a perfect compilation, and allows R-Truth, Ron Killens, to have one final run, and probably he could probably do a retirement thing of when he loses, he'll officially retire. And so he'll have a nice run, and you can never know who's going to beat him. Because any person could beat Ron Killens and retire him. So you'll never know, and it'll always be a mystery to it. We already know that John Cena's last match is at the end of December, at probably Saturday Night Main Event or next week. So, we already know when he retires, but we don't know about Ron Killens. So having it where any person could dethrone Ron Killens and retire him really adds the predictions and speculation of who it could be, and it really adds a lot of talks to it. And I think that's a good idea to do. Especially if you make it where he retains past WrestleMania or something. Or make him lose before WrestleMania. That way, you can't be, oh, he's going to lose at such a big PLE. He could lose on a normal show. Because he's Ron Killens. And that's my opinion. Then we have Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus. I think Tiffany Stratton's going to retain. Yes, it makes sense for Tiffany Stratton to finally lose it. I think Tiffany Stratton losing it at SummerSlam or Crash in Paris makes more sense. Especially because Trish Stratus should not be a champion. She did well, I think, as a tag team champion. I think she was tag team champions with Becky. I think. I don't remember. That was her tag team. But I don't see her as a women's champion. She's already been she's been a multiple-time Divas champion. I could see her if she wanted to do a big match in NXT and go for an NXT title, world title, and then have a bunch of good NXT matches, giving, a lot of those NXT people a chance to face, a legend in the women's wrestling sphere. So that would be good. But I think that should retain. Then we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi, and I think a no-holds-barred match, which I'm excited to see. I actually do want to see this. I really like these matches I'm seeing for Evolution. A lot of people said Evolution is not good. These guys aren't a draw. Women are a draw. You shouldn't watch. These are really like some of the top women in WWE, and I am excited to see this because a lot of these matches are stream matches I would love to see, and a lot of cool stuff. So I think Jade Cargill is going to win, especially because she's a queen of the ring. Having her lose to Naomi after becoming queen does not look good. So I think Jade Cargill has to win so she can go into SummerSlam with a win at a PLE. Following her win in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Then we have Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lila Valkyria. I said Bayley's going to win this because I think Becky Lynch and Lila Valkyria is going to get a final match between the two and like some big stipulation at SummerSlam. And I think it shouldn't be for the title. Because both the first 2 matches were for the title. I think the third one should not be for the title. Alright, so I think Bayley should win it. So Bayley can face someone else. And Becky and Lila can face each other in one big stipulation at SummerSlam. Because that is a SummerSlam match stipulation right there. Because they've both been back and forth against each other for so long since after WrestleMania. That is the match I need to see. For a non-title Becky Lynch versus Lila. So I think Bayley's going to win to take the title away from the two, so they can have a nice final match without the title involved. Because if the title keeps having to be involved, it just feels like the title was required. And the title is not required for a Becky Lynch versus Valkyria. The title should not be involved for that one, because it doesn't feel right to take away the spotlight between the two by thinking it's just a title feud. It isn't just a title feud, it's a blood feud, because the two have both hated each other ever since the turn. And now, we're on to the end with Superstar Spotlight. And I put Chad Gable. Yes, I know he's injured right now. But I said I hope to see Chad Gable and rest of American Made move over to SmackDown Because I would love to see Chad Gable either hold the US title, or even face John Cena for the title, or just face John Cena in general. I would love to see a Chad Gable versus John Cena match before John Cena retires. Because Chad Gable's really good with technician and technical stuff, as well as John Cena. And they could both do a really good match, especially without the title. I put for the title, but if we're going to have Ron Killings win it at Crash in Paris, which literally has to happen after Cody Rhodes faces at SummerSlam, that means if Ron Killings wins the title, Chad Gable can't go for the title if he faces John Cena, but still he can face John Cena, and that'll be a really good match. So, that is it for this podcast episode. If you guys want to see more, check in every month. I try to do it either right after a PLE or right before a PLE. Determines on how many because PLEs keep happening every other week. So basically becomes it where I'm trying to do it between the two. So then I can predict, because I know most of the matches coming up for the next PLE, which is what I'm doing with this one, because we have 3 PLEs coming up, so I had to predict a lot of matches. So thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.
Stand, try to float, you know. Stuck